public sector workers are now the subject, the scapegoat of an assault which is condemning current and future generations to a life after pensionable age of misery and poverty. Because let's not beat about the bush here. We called across 14 unions for strike action, and we called across 14 unions for action, a day of action, on the day following the autumn statement by the Chancellor of the Exchequer. And yesterday, on the day of the autumn statement, it would appear to me that he took absolute delight in condemning and attacking anybody who worked for public services. I'm not going to go through it all because we have many, many speakers here today. But the headlines are an extra £30,000 million of cuts over the next 3 years to the public sector, of an extra $250,000 jobs in the public sector to be lost, of £5 billion of cuts and extortion from the public sector to force private enterprise to fund private enterprise new projects of road and rail and other infrastructure projects, but at the expense of schools and children's services and services for older people, vulnerable adults, vulnerable children, our future education system, higher education, further education. You are all in the room. We are all here together because we are all under attack. And we had to have a public demonstration that we are together, that we are strong, and that we are a force to be reckoned with. And that force to be reckoned with just marched through Plymouth city centre. Now you will always get the oddball, but the reality is that we got a tremendous reception in town. There were periods of marching through the town where people were clapping and applauding us. I must admit I joined in a couple. I just get a bit over-uppity. It was very good. The police estimate is £2,500 people. Pounds? I got pounds on the brain. 2,500 people. 2,500 people makes this the biggest demonstration in Plymouth in over 30 years. 2,500 people says something very strong, and that is that not everybody is a trade unionist. Not everybody is a public sector worker. Not everybody is in work. We have 1 million of our younger people under 25 unemployed. It's extraordinary and it's a disgrace. But not everybody is in a public sector trade union. But when we join with people outside of our trade unions, they support us. When we join with pensions groups, when we join with patients groups, because thank you Derriford hospital workers for being here, nurses and everything. When we join with the claimants union and the groups that support people who are claiming disability benefit and then being attacked by a private firm called Atos to a point where they feel too bullied that they give up their benefits and live in misery and despair. We join with these groups in the community, in trade union councils across the country. And the TUC has networked and coordinated a day of action where 3 million people in Britain are now with you, acting with you, in strike action with you, on the streets with you. And